Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com. Today, it's kind of an exciting day, I think. I've got a product from a new manufacturer who reached out and asked me if I want to take a look at it. So I've used the old Dave technique to open up the, well, I think it's a box in a box. So, yeah, it sure is. Oh, good. Wasn't sure if they sent me this. Oh, yeah. This is the REDODO battery charger for the LiFEPO4 battery style, 20 amp, 14.6 volts. Pretty sweet. I was hoping they were going to send me this charger, but that's pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to have to, okay, I'm going to pull this out of the box. All right, guys, it is a box in a box. Pretty cool. I think this is like a Puma REDODO. And yeah, pretty cool box, pretty heavy. If you haven't guessed yet or by the title, it's a LiFEPO battery. So 12 volt, 100 watt hours, I believe that's what that is. It's got all the recycle, you know, stuff to do with batteries here. So here, let's open this guy up. All right, yeah, you know, even though it's a box in a box, it's pretty heavy cardboard. And, all right, we got some more information here. Yeah, the packaging so far seems really nice. This package, the box in a box, I mean a heavy box and a heavy box. So the one I took it out of was, well, they're both like double corrugated or whatever you call that. Product manual. I'll bring the camera over, show the stuff a little closer. It's color, pretty cool. So yeah, maybe I'll flash some pictures up, or I'll read the camera over one or the other. This is just a box opening right now. Should have mentioned that before. They gave this to me for free to review. Didn't give me any, like, you know, I don't have to say anything. I can say whatever I want. You know, companies that are confident enough to send products like this out to people like me are confident about the product. So, not worried about somebody saying negative things. So, yeah, long-term storage. Okay, that's cool. Some guidance for that in case you're going to store it for long-term. And here's that nice guide. Nice, colorful guide. It starts on this. You can feel a crease in the middle. You're supposed to fold it over like this. So you'd follow it this way and flip it over to step 3, 4, 5, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that they take you to each step on how to safely use a battery. If you've never done a hookup before, this is very helpful. You got 9 steps on this page, and then we come all the way down to 13 on this page. So yeah, and again, you know, if there were a problem, you don't put them in water, you know. So these batteries, it's interesting that you can mount them on their sides or either end, bottom, but you're not supposed to really mount them upside down. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Let me know if you guys know. But yeah, it must be the way the cells are designed, but I'm not really sure. It might be they don't want the weight on there's an electronic circuit board. I'm sure it's probably on the top maybe, where it's called a battery management system. It's a BMS. It makes sure that each cell is charged equally and separately. And so there we go. And I like the reusable Ziploc bag. It's nice. And again, it does come with a nice little bag that they provide. I think that's just a nice touch, especially because it's a Ziploc, so it's reusable, and you can keep your documents in it in a nice safe place where they don't get all nasty, and you know, you can keep them looking good and so on. All right, as we take this off, it says tear me off. Hi, here are your post bolts. I like the little Puma that they're using. Nice, you know, it's nicely packaged. What can I say? We'll look at these post bolts in a bit. I'll put these on the camera too. Again, like I just want to point out, they package this thing really well. So let's take out the plastic. Okay, so nice nylon strap. Oh, it's cool. It actually comes out, so I guess it's replaceable in case it gets. Yeah, it's just got some grooves. I'll show you a photograph of this, but that's neat. Little plastic blocks. And these little caps, they just snap on top. That way if something does fall on top, you're not gonna at least short to the top of the terminal. So that's a nice touch. You know, that's the very least kind of protection you're gonna want to put on these things. But yeah, so maybe I'll leave these on so I can charge it up. But here's a little handle that comes on it. Pretty nicely designed. It's just designed so you can slide this nylon out of the groove, and it comes out and it has a little plastic block that's stamped onto the end of the cable. So you just slide it back in and locks in place. So nice touch. Yeah, looks like a nice battery. You know, it's I mean, for a battery, holy cow, what a nice touch. You know, this white battery with, that's what it looks like on the other side. Pretty cool, huh? So 12.8 volts, 100 amp hours, lithium iron phosphate deep cycle battery, 1280 watt hours. So it's almost 1300 watt hours. And on this side it just says 100 amp hours. So there we go, 12.8 volts, 100 amp hours. And 1280 watt hours. Well, 12.8 times 100 amp hours would give you 1280 watt hours. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it looks, yeah, I mean, it's very square. There's no swelling if you're wondering about anything like that. It's just very nicely, it's a nice look, you can tell, right? And they have little plastic caps on top covering the posts, where I'll put some bolts down and we'll charge this bad boy. You know, whenever they ship lithium ion batteries, they're supposed to be discharged to, I think it's like 30% charge. Now, the thing is, with LiFePO or lithium iron phosphate batteries, they're very safe. They're not like the NMC batteries with nickel, metal, cobalt. The cobalt makes those batteries the things that make them dangerous, where they can, you know, they can start fires and so on. These batteries are very safe. So, plus they last a lot longer. You know, some people say up to 3 times longer. Some of the stuff I've read, they say they last up to 5 times longer. So, yeah, you pay a little bit more. Having the extra life and the safety, I'm all for these. Now, what's cool about these things is, let me just tell you in case you're wondering. So if you have something like this is so EcoFlow, it's like 265 or just under 270, I think, watt hours. Well, this guy here is 1280 watt hours. So it adds a lot of boost to something like this. So you can have this, you know, this is nice because it has the inverter, the AC output, the USB-C, USB-A's, cigarette lighter. So something small like this is nice, portable, that you can move around, take with you, carry in your car for certain things. But if ever you have, it could probably run a small fridge, like my little small wine fridge. So, but if you ever want to, you know, support something for a longer period of time during a power outage, having something like this charged up would really be nice to boost this guy up with. So, pretty cool. Alright guys, so there you go. Let me know what you think. This is pretty neat. I'm gonna, okay guys, this is the REDODO battery charger, the LiFEPO4, 20 amp hour, 14.6. Pretty nice, right? Let's open it up and take a look. And I like the packaging. Pretty nice packaging, kind of cute. The little, I think that's a Puma, not sure. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Comes with the manual, the charger, and let's see what else is inside here. It says charger, direct wire, DC wires, user manual, and AC power cord. Let's check it out. And the product manual, their documentation I think is well done. It's nicely, you know, it looks nice. It's colored, makes it easy reading, so on. All right, so let's open this guy up. Here's our power cable, and here is a nice heavy gauge wire. What is that? That's pretty heavy gauge. And it's got some pretty nice clips on this. They're kind of shaped for the terminals. That's cool. Yeah, pretty cool. And it looks like these are 12 gauge wires, 300 volt ADC. So that's nice. Nice touch. And that's what the charger looks like. So we got a little description of what the indicator lights mean. And it's ETL approved. That's very nice. It's like UL approved. It's going to be fan cooled. That's a good job. Here's where either the air is being pulled or exit. It looks like there's probably an LED show that it's turned on. It's just one of those extruded heatsink kind of chassis. So we'll be testing this. Hey guys, so what do you think? I mean, it looks like a really nice product. It looks well put together and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is just a box opening, so I'm going to do a more full review of this. But I do want to talk about a few things. One thing is use case, right? I got this little EcoFlow. This is a power station. It has the DC and AC outputs, so it's all in one unit. These things are kind of, you know, expensive in comparison to the cost of just the battery, right? So when you buy one of these things, you decide on the capacity, how big you want one, right? Now you could get a small one like this. It does have about 600 watts AC output. If that's enough for you, go, wow, okay. For most cases, that'll be enough. I have a bigger power station, but this is one I seem to reach for all the time because it's just so useful. So I could take this out on the road with me. Let's say if I went camping, I want to do some work, you know, campground and just be out in nature, I could take this guy and use this thing, right? It's only 265 watt hours, I believe. So that comes out to about, oh, and right now it's on sale at Amazon. I want to let you know that it's about $190 after you add the sale and the coupon. So that's an amazing price. EcoFlow is one of the top names in the business. So as far as cost goes, cost has been getting driven down. The last few years, cost has hit about that 75 cents per watt hour. That's still a lot compared to just a battery. The battery is like 25 cents per watt hour for this REDODO. So that's ridiculous. That's a great deal. For LiFePO, lithium iron phosphate battery, that's a great deal. So this is about $320, this battery. This thing, the charger for it's about $120. If I needed a bigger inverter to say run a bigger refrigerator, so one of the use cases would be an emergency power situation, right? So what if I did need that big inverter for that? I could just buy a big inverter to go with this versus buying a big power station that comes with all the other stuff, right? So I could just go buy the big inverter and run it off this thing. I could get solar panels to charge it if I want. So I could build my system that way. And it could be a lot less expensive that way. And you're not putting all your money into a big power station that you're going to just outlive or outgrow, you know? And so these batteries, just buying batteries, raw batteries, man, it seems like a very flexible way to grow your system. So anyway, that's one thing. And that kind of shows you the cost. So the use case and the cost, right? It's about 25 cents per watt hour versus 75 cents per watt hour. Great deal on that, by the way. That's just great deal. 190 bucks for that now. Anyway, oh, and the combination. So what if I got this? So I'd have all these outputs, and then I buy this to back this guy up. Well, that's a great use case. So that comes out to about 33 cents per watt hour. That's a very inexpensive system. And then I could buy another one of these if I wanted to. And the overall system price is going to go closer and closer to that 25 cents, right? Pretty soon, if I had enough of these, the cost of this little guy's going to get washed out. But, or I can just buy that big inverter and run it off of this battery. So, and then my bigger station, I can put this with my big station to double the capacity of that. So, gosh, lots of uses. A funny one for some, and then for other people it's very serious. So there's some audiophiles that want to run their audio equipment off batteries so they don't have all the power and grid noise and all that stuff, right? But hopefully they're going to move away from lead acid batteries to lithium iron phosphates, because that's so much better for the environment. These are going to last so much longer. NMC batteries are an option, but these are going to last 3 times more. I think everybody's kind of agreed that it's about a 3x factor, but I've read some stuff in actual use, it's more like 5x factor. So these guys are going to last a lot longer than an NMC. Plus, they're just way safer. You've heard of the problems in airports and so on with lithium batteries, right? Well, that's NMCs, nickel, metal, cobalt. So that cobalt, it's also a more rare element, and so it takes a lot of mining to get that cobalt, and that cobalt's what causes the fire issues, the thermal issues with those batteries, the NMCs. But back in the day, well, they're cheaper. Okay, that's why people use them. So why do they use them? Because they're cheaper. So back in the day, you know, like a marketing guy could show you 2-cylinder cells, NMC and a lithium iron phosphate, and say, see, the NMC has twice the capacity, twice the energy density. That's why we don't use lithium iron phosphate. And the guy who wanted the safety and the more cycles goes, wow, that's, you know, that's not good. I don't want my thing to be twice as big. But that was really never the case, because NMCs, those cylinders, there has to be space around them. So when they put a whole bunch of them together in columns and rows, there's space around them. Okay, so they have this battery bank of all these cylinders, and there's space so the fans can blow air through them. Okay, you don't want these guys, especially guys in the middle, heating up, well, the guys around the outside heating up the guys on the inside, right? So there has to be enough space to get airflow. So the actual implementation, the construction, and NMC battery bank has a lot of air gaps where the lithium iron phosphate didn't need that. So it didn't turn out to be twice the size. What I saw was about 40% bigger for the lithium iron phosphate. So for me, 40% bigger, it's like I'd rather have that, to have the more cycles and the safety, especially when I'm putting that kind of money into it. I want it to last longer. And if you feel, you know, better about the environment, then that's a plus too, right? So, but REDODO and a lot of people have used what they call prismatic cells, and they're kind of more of this construction. It's more like a box, okay? It's like a big rectangle. They can be square, rectangle, whatever, but, you know, it's like just a box. And, you know, like this thing, it can blow out, right? So it's not very strong. So NMCs don't like that because, well, they do like it because they like to expand. As a matter of fact, if you've seen some laptops where the batteries swell up and the keyboard comes up, that's those NMCs. They put them in pouches, okay, to make them real thin. And they can do that with lithium iron phosphate as well. They don't have to worry about swelling as much as NMCs. But NMCs will swell. And so usually, like if they put pouches or prismatic type construction cells in a big battery bank, they have to put bands or whatever to hold them together, okay, so they don't swell. And with lithium iron phosphate, it's not anywhere near the problem. So REDODO uses prismatic cells, these boxes, like, you know, a bunch of cells designed that way. So you don't have the air gaps, all that kind of stuff. So the actual construction of this and the energy density of this compared to NMC, I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm guessing 25% bigger than an NMC construction of the similar watt hours. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, it's nowhere near the 2x thing. It never has been. So, lithium iron phosphate for safety, the environment, you know, for the cycle time, all that, you know, for cost savings. You're going to save a lot more money with lithium iron phosphate than lead acid or NMC. Lead acid are the lowest cost of all of them. But yeah, the other thing to understand about any lithium battery is they always send them to you, you know, not fully charged, like about 30% charged or less even. And so you have to charge them when you get them. But the other part of it is that there's a circuit board in here. It's called a BMS, Battery Management System. And what it does, a lead acid battery, you can put a bunch of cells together, just wire them all in parallel and charge them, and they share fine. Lithium's, any kind of lithium doesn't do that. One will want to hog the current, and so it'll overcharge itself while it's waiting for the other guys to charge. So there's a battery management system, and what it does, I mean, what its main job is to make sure that all the batteries charge and discharge together evenly, okay? So it keeps them all balanced. But it also does other things. It does over current protection, over voltage protection, over temperature protection. Like this REDODO has all these. When I do my full review, I'll talk about all that stuff, okay? But anyway, just to let you know how lithium iron or any lithium battery works, is you have a bunch of cells packed in here. They could be cylinders, they could be prismatics. REDODO uses prismatics, and so they're not as big. And I think they have a 10-year warranty, but they last longer, they have more cycles, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, lithium iron phosphate, EcoFlow has gone to them. Pretty much everybody's going to them. If you're not going to them, it's a company that is not very progressive. So pretty much everybody has gone to lithium iron phosphate. And even and when you look at the leader of the electric car, Tesla, they're going to lithium iron phosphate as well. I think on their smaller models, they're going to keep NMCs for a while, but I'm sure they'll all be phased out someday. So some big shot at Tesla left Tesla to start a recycling company, and what he's doing is recycling batteries just because that mining problem, trying to get all those materials, they're not going to keep up with the demand. So right now he's not going to make money, but eventually he will. He'll probably make a lot of money, but it's a big issue, and it takes a lot of money to start a recycling company. But he's doing it. There's some others, and so there is that going on. So hopefully people aren't throwing lithium batteries in the trash, you know, recycle them, and hopefully they'll go to those vendors who know how to recycle them. But the best way to protect the environment is, once the battery is built, is to last longer, have more cycles. So we want to start using lithium iron phosphates for the environment too. So there you go, guys. Hey, 2 thumbs up to my Patreons, and 2 thumbs up to REDODO for sending these out to me free of charge. That was very nice of them. They reached out to me, and I was really happy about it because I saw them reviewed on YouTube, and they've got really positive reviews, and I wanted to try them out. So thank you, REDODO. And like I said, my Patreons, they're always supporting me. You guys that hit that super thank you button below the YouTube added, I really appreciate that as well. And for everybody giving likes to the videos and watching the videos, appreciate all you guys. And come back and I'll do a review of this, and we'll charge it up and discharge it, and we'll open up this charger, look inside. It looks, from the outside, it looks like a nice construction. Let's look at the inside. Yeah, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.